Hey, welcome back to another episode of Lowcountry Lowdown. Back not in the studio, somewhere entirely different. Hades has come out of the underground and lit the entire Southeast on fire whilst simultaneously knocking out the AC in our office. So it's hot in there right now. So we're in my house. Hey, change of scenery. Maybe we'll do this more often. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. It has a good vibe.
We'll see how it goes. It's nice to have my dog in the house. She's not in the shot, but she's here. Trust me on that. So anyway, back at it again, another beautiful episode with me and Roberto. Let's go ahead and talk about some community events coming up in the Lowcountry. Let's see here. Today, at the time of recording, is the 21st. This will be dropped on the 24th. All right, 25th. Tomorrow, for you guys watching it on day one, for my loyal day one watchers, the Festival of Hope will be at Rollins Edwards Community Center, somewhere in Somerville.
Next to Doty Park.
Sick. 301 North Hickory Street, they say. It's a community mental health awareness festival. Now, this is coming from somervillesc.gov. As you can see, Robert, please verify with folks at home.
It's very true.
Zero details here, other than the title. But it is a festival, so, I mean, it's got to be a good time,
mental
right?
health festival?
Yeah. They're going to be doing something
That's good.
about awareness so that you're aware of mental health. Always great to be aware of that.
It is.
And it's a festival, so...
But is this sponsored by BetterHelp? Or
help with the better... No,
Did
it's
you need
not.
help with... yeah.
Yeah, no, they haven't reached out, yes. Although it seems like every single show on the internet is sponsored by them. So,
Yeah.
Hey, maybe they'll be our first...
It's important, though. It really is.
It is important. You got to do it. You got to be aware of it.
Yeah.
And you got to go to the festival and support your community. So
Yes.
anyway, 10 to 2, 10 o'clock a.m., 2 o'clock p.m., July 25th. Go check that out. And then the following... holy guacamole. There it is. Friday, July 31st is the Movies in the Park. One Last Splash is what they say. Now, they have had a description for this one, so I'll go ahead and read it. It says, join us for the back-to-school fair and movie night in the park, says Somerville government. Come out for our second annual back-to-school fair with yard games and activities with a special movie night in the park to end it all out. Be sure to also wear your swimsuits as the splash pad will be open later in the evening instead of shutting down at 6. All right, we're getting extended splash pad action.
Dude, epic. This is at Doty Park?
This is at Doty Park, so you get a maximum splash pad experience. All right, normally closed at 6. Not today, not on July 31st,
7
buddy.
o'clock.
6 o'clock. But you can come at 7, it's fine. It's from 6 to 10, so whenever you like. Getting
What movie's
kids,
playing, do you know?
Says, getting kids ready to go back to the zoo. I guess they're calling the school the zoo. That's a little fun little play thing. A screening of Zootopia 2.
Oh.
So go check out, what's that bunny's name?
I don't know. I've seen the first one.
Judy Hopps.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't have kids, so yeah, that's why I
I
know.
do remember the sloth. I remember the sloth at the DMV.
Yeah, lore accurate DMV employee. No
Yeah.
disrespect to any of my DMV employees out there, but what do you do?
Actually, some of them have been a little bit better recently, but
Yeah.
overall, yeah. Like,
I take it back. I should not besmirch our beautiful DMV employees. I just think we need a few more DMVs,
yeah, that's like almost, I don't know, the same thing, like where the government hires people to create traffic. Like, I actually honestly would be open to that belief. Like, there's like, they're like, yo, we'll pay you. Just go out there.
Just get in a wreck on a
act
one-lane
like an
highway.
idiot. Just drive super slow, hold up
Yeah.
everybody. Or the DMV. It's like, that's another thing where, yeah, well, I think like they need more of those.
I don't know how.
Like one more or something.
It just seems like almost mathematically impossible that every day of the week there's 800 people that need to be at the DMV.
The DMV is never slow.
No,
Yeah,
dude.
You can go first thing when it opens or whatever it is. You're going to be waiting in line.
Oh, if you go there at like noon, it's like, yeah, your ticket's 700. How do we possibly?
Now calling, yeah.
Yeah, now calling. I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. Like, I don't understand how you could possibly have that many DMV needs. Maybe the government needs to stop requiring as much stuff.
Well, I'm honestly kind of shocked still, like now with the internet. Like, you have to go to the DMV, I think, for a good bit of stuff. Like I've even things I've had to do, they're like, yeah, man, you got to go to the DMV.
Can I just take a online driver's ed test and like send them a selfie to put in my card?
Dude, I know.
Why do they have to do the photo?
I mean, honestly, one day maybe our kids won't even be driving. Maybe they'll have the Waymo.
The Waymo, yeah. Probably Waymo stuff to pay then too, honestly. Where's the yeah. We've had that this whole time. I had to wait for the opportune moment to bring it out. But anyway, screenings begin at sunset, so no particular time. Just whenever the sun goes down is when they're going to drop Zootopia 2. Also going to be food vendors, so go support your local food vendors. It says, bring your own lawn chairs, BYOLC, and blankets. All right, there's not going to be any lawn chairs. But
bring your own lawn chairs.
Bring your own lawn chairs.
And blankets and whatever else.
And blankets. Whatever you want to sit on, bring it. All right, that's what they got. Anyway, that's what's going on in the Lowcountry in the next couple of weeks. So that's cool. Listen, Rob, last week talked a little bit about AI, and what's it called? Them dadgummed flocks. And Rob, I got to tell you the truth. I have been spiraling too much into this nonsense, and I have been getting way too absorbed in all the happenings of the world, things that are out of my control. I think it's time we just dial it back a little bit. You know what the Romans said, about the bread in the circuses?
Not my monkey, not my circus.
yeah, something like that. No, the Romans, the emperor, he'd say, give the masses bread and circus and they'll never revolt. Well, listen, I've been feeling a little restless about these flock cameras, and I've done some soul searching. I think it's because I'm missing my bread and circus.
Yeah, man, we got it all.
I need to get back into circus maxing because I don't have a lot of hobbies, Rob. One thing though, I love is college football. That's why we have our honorary Clemson Tigers helmet today, signed by none other than Trevor Lawrence, the Golden Prince, sweet savior of Clemson football. But it's just I've had to ask myself the question, am I truly upset about these flock cameras, or do I just not have college football, Rob? And I think I might not. I might not be mad about these at all. I might be totally fine with AI. And it's just
college football heals, man. Like I miss being really into college football. I love watching college game day.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's the best thing to wake up on a
crisp
Saturday.
Fall morning, brother.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that already. So hot,
there's no grass to cut.
No
maybe
grass
you rake the leaves.
You can walk outside without melting, and it's just
dude, it's beautiful.
Yeah, Lee I guess he's not on there anymore, but there's Lee Corso. He was on there.
Yeah, he used to be. You got Kirk Herbstreit. Peddling Raising Canes or something. That's what he's up to these days. Big Raising Cane sponsor. I mean, yeah, whatever
Desmond Howard.
That's the guy I was thinking of. Played for Michigan. That's what
he was. I think he won a Heisman.
I think he did.
I think he invented the Heisman pose. Actually,
did he really? No,
I think
that can't be true.
I think he was the guy that did the Heisman.
Hasn't the Heisman Trophy been around since the 1910s or something? Desmond Howard's
ball knowledge is way off.
120. Hold on a second.
Well, maybe he just did the pose and it went viral again or something. Maybe that's what it was.
How old is the fact check? You're live on the air.
I'm 99% sure now I'm wrong.
Hold on. No. How old is that?
But he did do some of the Heisman pose.
1935.
Dude, he's just really old, man.
Named after John Heisman. If you would have told me this guy named John Heisman, I'd call you a liar.
Yeah, it sounds like I would make up lies like that. When I used to work at Best Buy, I'd be like, John Samson.
John Samson.
Invented Samson in 1984 or whatever. And then
let me call it Mr. Google.
Desmond, he did something with the Heisman pose. Okay,
I do think he won it.
He did win the trophy. Yeah,
that sounds right. Yeah, Desmond Howard, American football player. There he is, Desmond.
But if you look up, the viewers can't see it.
Oh, he was a wide receiver.
Actually, that's probably one of the only wide receivers that have won that trophy.
I thought he played defense.
Yeah, I thought he was a cornerback or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Lee Corso was a cornerback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he played defense. Heisman Trophy 1991. Hey-oh. Played for the Washington Redskins at the time, now the Commanders. Played for the Jags, Packers, Oakland Raiders, and the Detroit Lions. Good for him. Anyway, now he's in college game day. But yeah, I just miss it, man. So, today I'm just going to talk ball. All right. And before we get started, I just want to do a quick shout out and appreciation post. Freaking internet coded idiot. Post. Want to just do a quick shout out to my boy, Robert. For those of you who don't know, I don't tell him anything I'm going to say before we start these. I don't even send him a text about the subject. This guy just has to figure out my antics every time. So shout out, Rob. It's the element of surprise, dude.
Honestly, it makes it more interesting that way.
Well, I'm glad you have fun with it.
And we want to keep it real for you guys, too.
We got to keep it real.
We're keeping this organic.
There's no scripts here, buddy. This is all 100% genuine, all right?
This is all AI. Literally, we just put it into ChatGPT, a prompt, and it just created this whole episode.
Did you know Coach Greg, right?
No.
You don't know Coach Greg Doucette?
Oh, yeah.
Is that
buy my cookbook?
Yeah. No, he's like half of his stuff's AI now. He paid for
it's kind of like a lot of nothing not targeted towards anybody, but it is a lot of people. Which just seems weird to me is the people that are your age really don't like AI, but the people that are kind of didn't grew up with as much technology, they really like it. You know, that's what.
I think it's just such a like. I mean, you got to reckon the generation that thought like the original Star Wars was like crazy AI or like crazy, you know, special effects. Yeah. Like that was the coolest
thing. That was pretty good back then. The Indiana Jones or whatever.
Yeah. So like, you know, the people who grew up on OG Star Trek and, you know, Star Wars and that was incredible special effects, AI is going to blow their mind.
Yeah. Honestly, I guess it's kind of cool. You can just type something in there and it makes it, you know. Yeah. I mean, it can do some pretty cool things, but you can tell where it is. Yeah, I think there's, I don't know. Yeah, we talk about this every single episode, actually.
It is a recurring theme in my life. I was socializing with someone on Facebook earlier today, and he mentioned that if you know, he'll ask like Alexa or whatever something, and then he'll just tell her she's wrong, and then apparently she'll just give you a completely different answer.
You call it AI all the time, and it definitely like obeys you. I hate to say it like that, but it's like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. You're totally right.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is what he pointed out. He's like, but you have to know she was right to begin with. Oh, Kat has entered the room, and it's funny because like all these people who are like, oh, AI is going to replace this job or that job. I feel like they don't actually know what the job's supposed to look like to begin with.
Yeah.
So they just see AI produce a thing, and they're like, yeah, that's.
AI will produce like, I mean, what is it called? Take over probably computer coding a lot, and then you just manage that or tasks like that is really good at like calculations and stuff.
Yeah,
it's going to definitely take those over. I mean, it will take over some other jobs, of course, as well. Mm-hmm. Like customer service, the baseline customer service is going to take over that, and baseline content creation, it probably will too. Until people get, I think, we talked about this, and we'll say every single time people see, oh, it looks all the same. Then they're going to be, I want something different. You know, then that's where it shows there's different avenues or whatever.
I think there's like certain things where I'd call it like almost like ethical AI usage. Like, for example, if you're doing like crazy calculations, like I don't consider a calculator to be unethical. Yeah. You know, so if you're just using it for that, or if you're like, okay, I have all this data, can you put it into a spreadsheet for me? Or can you put it into a graph? Like, okay, chill. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think what bothers me the most is use in surveillance technologies is an issue. Military technology is very questionable for me because I don't think AI should be ever given the option to determine whether or not to fire a shot.
Definitely shouldn't have power.
Artistically, I have a problem with that, you know.
Because I think AI is like the thing where if you ask the general person, it's like AI should take over the jobs we don't want to do and then give us the freedom to do the creative jobs.
Well, isn't it crazy? And I didn't have this independent thought. I saw this on some other podcasts, but isn't it crazy that like, you know, AI is doing graphic design and art and we're still working in factories?
Yeah.
Isn't that, you know, it's
like we're working at McDonald's slaving away when AI's making whatever, doing the fun stuff.
Yeah, doing like art and creativity and like writing and poetry and graphic design. Like, shouldn't we just kind of flip that and we can do the creative stuff and it can work in a factory?
Well, honestly, we're just trying to maybe you didn't say this on a podcast, but you said this to me, I think, in person. The people we take the path of least resistance. So
100%. Yeah.
Honestly, the creative stuff, if you do it yourself, it actually takes some effort. It takes some actually thinking and time and all this stuff. AI can just spit it out. It might not be perfect, but it's just a lot easier. So it's almost like, I think that's why people are using it right now. Yeah. But I think it's just, and maybe I'm just trying to be hopeful, but I really, unless AI completely gets like way more creative or something like that, I think that is actually going to fall off a little bit, the creative side of AI. Yeah. And I do think it will transition a little bit more into the calculations and, you know, helping people out with certain things. But I use it for like spreadsheets or like a schedule or something. You know, it's really good for that.
That's fine. And if I'm just like, you know, if I'm just too lazy to type something in and I'm like, I'm not going to say her name because she'll spaz on my phone, but I don't use Alexa. So I'll be like, hey, Alexa, like set an alarm for whatever. Like, okay, cool. Save me a couple clicks on it. That's not a big deal, you know? But if I'm like, hey, Alexa, run a CMA on this property, it's just going to do a bad job of doing my job. Exactly. And that's where like people are like, oh, you know, AI can replace an agent. I'm like, you can replace a crappy agent.
Yeah.
Like replace someone who's not good to begin with. If you want to Zestimate, sure, it can do that. But it can't fully replace an agent. You know, it can do the very basics. That's actually a good way to probably talk about AI. It can do the very basics of a lot of stuff, but it's not an expert. Yeah, it's fine to lean on it for like rudimentary, you know, tasks that pretty much anybody can do, and it's like a time-saving device.
Oh yeah.
But it can't think. You know, it's really good at making you trick you into looking like it's thinking, but it
makes a lot of mistakes. If you use it, actually, it makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, but if you don't know what mistakes to look at, that's what I'm saying. The danger is like, you need about like the Zestimates. And, you know, I would say not to badmouth Zillow, but actually screw Zillow. Respectfully, I don't like them as a company. Like there's a lot of people, and half of my job is explaining to people that the Zestimate is like right, maybe 50% of the time it's in the ballpark, and the other 50% is just completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like I had a house, if you guys know anything about Del Webb in Nexton, or Cane Bay rather, it's Del Webb and Cane Bay. If you guys know Del Webb and Cane Bay, you know how ridiculous this sounds. But the estimate was like, had it overpriced by like $250,000 because I thought it was on a 2-acre lot.
That's crazy.
To be clear, there's no 2-acre lots in Del Webb. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, any like new construction neighborhood.
No.
And that would be like, you're like the king of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't even know how they even...
King of the castle.
Wow, I have a chair. I don't know how they even thought. It was like, because there's no, usually it'll pull from like public records. I don't know.
Sometimes I've seen it get, I don't know how it
possibly thought it was on,
but it'll mess up the lot size sometimes, or like the, even the square feet or something with the property as well.
Yeah,
but
it's just completely confusing.
It doesn't even know, like, and it can kind of give you a starting point, but yeah, it doesn't know the condition of the house, anything like that.
No, like I said, it can't think. It's just really good at compiling public data and numbers and putting it together in a way that makes it look like you put a thought. But there's zero like nuance in this, that, and the other. I do actually low key think one of the positive things is I think that it kind of exposes a lot of people who maybe don't really know what they're doing to begin with. And if you kind of, if you realize like, okay, well, these people are relying too heavily on AI, perhaps that culls the herd a little bit and makes it more apparent, the gap between someone who knows what they're doing and what they're not. But that's just me being optimistic. I think,
I mean, if you think about it too, like, let's just say like, this is just a random thought coming to my mind. 3 years from now, you have a bunch of agents or people, whatever, in a different field, that use AI, or just maybe clients just use AI all the time. Or then you have over that same 3 years, you have people that are doing the actual work. Like let's say you or whoever it is, like an agent full-time, go and actually experience it day in, day out. Just my overall like instincts tell me the human being that's been doing it for 3 years is going to know a lot more of the nuances of all these little things with the market, or you're also navigating people's emotions. There's a lot more than just like
100%
putting the house on the internet and just like, oh, there it goes, gets shown to sells.
Well, and not to like, again, I'm really trying my hardest not to say negative things about people, but it is a frustrating part of my job is that like you hear it a lot as an agent. Well, when you list a house, don't you just, take photos and put it online? And as much as I want to argue that, like, that's not how we go about it. Yeah. The problem is there's a ton of agents who like, that is what they do.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it because half the people, probably more than half the people, that is how they list a house. And it's like, yeah, well, to be fair, that does happen all the time, but also like those people probably shouldn't be in the industry.
Yeah.
I've said it a million times. It's just way too easy to get your license, and most people don't know what they're doing. But
also, and this is
got the buttons in front of me today. I'm sorry,
because in different states, like I say, North Carolina, I think like it's a lot different. Like there's no attorneys for real estate. Is there in North Carolina? How does that work?
I do not know anything about North Carolina real estate. I ain't even front. I have no idea how that happens.
Yeah, because I think there's certain states where the real estate agent handles like all that legal stuff, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, that to me seems like a lot more like it's actually worth it,
Yeah, I think people you would think that it would be more obvious when people aren't competent. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be pretty clear if you mess up a legal thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole taxes, the title search, all that stuff. There's a lot of things like, that we're actually, I like to kind of participate a little bit in that or learn as much as I can about this stuff as well, to just know as much as I possibly can, even at the attorney's table each time. I just kind of don't say much and listen, like I'm almost shadowing them.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how like handicapped these laws have made agents, like, as you're well aware, Robert, but the viewers at home, folks at home may not be aware that we're like not allowed to do half of the stuff that we wish we would. Like, for example, if somebody asked me just an innocent question, do you think this is a good neighborhood? Like legally, I can't answer that. Now I might say something about my opinion, but a licensed agent cannot legally, technically speaking, advise on that. And if somebody, for example, here's another thing, because of the way South Carolina's laws are, at least, if somebody says, what is this, this sentence in the contract, what does that mean? Technically, now you're going to find very little agents who actually do this, but technically the by the book response to that is if you don't understand the phrasing of this contract, you need to consult with an attorney. We can't give legal advice.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
which seems so weird because honestly, the real estate
wrote the contract.
Yeah, we wrote the.
Yeah,
that's our whole
tell you what
job.
it means.
Basically, the contracts and real estate school is kind of like mini law school, to be honest.
A little bit. Very many. Very much.
Very many, like a tenth of it or whatever.
Yeah, well, less. probably like 1%. But I don't know. I think that you should probably. I think the barrier to entry to real estate should be 1,000,000 times higher. It takes 12 years to go to law school or something. I don't know. Probably not. I think it's like technically 6 years. That's quick you can do it, right? You need a 4-year degree, and then you got to get your Juris Doctorate, which I think can be done in 2 years, and then you become an attorney after you pass the bar exam. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an attorney. Well,
but, because and there's a lot of memes about the real estate agents, probably because there is like so many different types of people that are agents.
Yep.
But usually the ones that are like the boring, very professional, good at their job ones, they kind of fly under the radar. People don't really acknowledge them. It's usually the ones that are doing something outlandish or something that those ones grab the attention of like, media or whatever, or just what you think about. But
well, that's the thing that I think needs to be kind of fixed is that what ends up happening is the most successful agents are the ones who can market themselves the best and not necessarily the ones that are the most competent at the jobs, but the ones that are in fact the best at getting folks' attention.
Oh, yeah.
And not even marketing the properties, like selling them, just marketing their own business,
Exactly. That's mostly what I see, them marketing themselves. So
I don't think that's ideal. I don't know how to fix that problem because obviously you go to marketing, but
the only way I can, the only thoughts I've ever had is you market yourself, make yourself look really amazing, or you just, to me, you have a wealth of knowledge and you talk about the knowledge and show your value that way.
Yeah.
That's if I was interested in buying a house, is either going to be the flashy thing. Someone just immediately looks, okay, cool. They are a real estate agent.
Competent,
They have this cool stuff. Or somebody that I watched them talk about, like let's say Tidewater properties or something like that. They know all about the ins and outs of the certain area, or they're just extremely knowledgeable. Now it's like, oh, if I just heard them both, I want to go to the person that knows so much because I feel a lot more secure trusting them with this.
Yeah. But anyway, good enough time as any. Hey, ctownsales.com. All your real estate needs. Check it out. ctownsales.com. ctownsales.com. Yeah. If you're buying or selling, check it out. It's amazing. Anyway, look, let's talk ball. I'm done with this doom and stuff. Let's talk SEC. Rob, there's been an issue in college football these past few years. All right. Now,
I don't even know what's about to be said here.
Buddy, I'm about to spew some serious opinions / facts.
Listen, the chance about to get clipped.
About to say some real controversial stuff, folks. Clemson, as a Clemson fan, you do get a little bit tired of hearing about the SEC. Because all anybody ever wants to say is, oh, Clemson plays in the ACC, Powder Puff Conference, even though Miami was in the Natty last year and was with, play away from winning, whatever, no big deal. It's not exactly the softest conference ever. Also, Mississippi State. Okay, come on, guys. Anyway.
Carolina, dude.
Carolina, come on. 4-8 last year. Anyway. No big deal. People say that stuff. And so as a Clemson fan, sometimes you get a little bit irked about, SEC. However, it is time to put our differences aside. We got a bigger problem.
Okay.
Problem is very big. It's called the Big Ten Conference. Listen, folks,
I feel there's more than 10 people in that now. 10 teams.
It is. They're liars for
the
one.
Big 14 or something.
I don't know. How many? I don't know. Computer. How many teams in the Big Ten?
A computer.
How many? Look, I'm sick and tired of these northern teams having the audacity to say they run college ball. All right. So SEC, let it be known. Timeout on the rivalry. Don't get me wrong. When we play Carolina, there will be emotions. However, in the event that we are not playing each other, we need to team up. We need to destroy this narrative that the Big Ten is the superior conference. All right. I get that Indiana was incredible last year. I loved Curt Cignetti. Granted, he is a protege of Nick Saban, SEC product. That's beside the point.
Dabo is too, isn't he?
Dabo, he never, I don't think, coached as an assistant under Saban, I don't think. But he did play, he was wide receiver at Bama.
I think he was a wide receiver coach too there.
He was a wide receiver coach, definitely at Clemson.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know about Bama, but he was a wide receiver at Alabama. Growing up, he's from Alabama. But he's a Clemson boy now. And, Cignetti, obviously, incredible story. If you don't know, Indiana sucked forever, and then Cignetti came and just balled out.
The worst team, honestly,
trash, garbage.
Yeah, and that's like, honestly, he did the thing like what everybody wants to do in the video game.
Yeah,
like you take a terrible team in a good conference, you know, and you just rebuild it and then win everything.
It was sick. It was incredible to watch. But Ohio State, they just be running their mouth. Michigan needs to stop. They haven't been good for a decade. Even that year they won the Natty. Whatever. Michigan's not great.
To me, Ohio State's probably the most overrated team in college football. Like the ESPN, will always they always get
Ohio State.
They do start off the season strong until they don't really face a strong team right away though. If you ever notice this, but later on in the season they'll face like Michigan or they'll face a stronger team, Penn State or something.
Yeah, well they play Texas week 2, but
okay, this is a different. But honestly, a lot of times I feel like they start losing those big games. You know, they.
I don't think that they have enough credibility. Like I don't want to see because you know what else they always say the USC, that's like a big USC hasn't been good since the 2000s. The Trojans?
Yeah, honestly, that's just super nostalgia with that. That's like Notre Dame, like the same thing with Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's another
Notre Dame is preseason ranked like in the top 5 almost every season.
Notre Dame wins the offseason every single year.
And at the end of the season, they're not even like ranked almost. No. Sometimes they are.
Well, they're usually up there, but look, Notre Dame's not a bad team, but the number 1 team in the nation hype is ridiculous. Notre Dame has not been positioned to win a Natty for at least a decade. Despite they made some decent playoff runs, didn't work out. I don't think Notre Dame's a contender. They're independent at least, but the Big Ten, you got Ohio State's always a contender because they play nobody. USC is not even. I think USC.
That's so weird. That's in the Big Ten.
50. Yeah,
because I always think because I think it's dismantled maybe now the Pac-10 or Pac-12 or whatever.
I think they were at one point in the Pac. Something.
They were definitely in the Pac. Yeah, I remember back in the day when they had Reggie Bush. They were amazing back then.
That's when they were good.
But they were like.
It's a long time ago now.
Yeah, they had the guy that coached the Seattle Seahawks was the head coach of the
what's his name? He's got white hair.
Yeah, I forget. Like
pretty geese now.
Yeah. But he's a pretty good coach.
He used to be the man.
Yeah, I mean honestly, he probably was. He was so they were like definitely the dominant powerhouse until Texas beat them. And then Texas kind of destroyed their dynasty, I feel like a little bit.
Yeah, Texas, that was Mac Brown, Texas. Mac Brown, he was the man. Finished his career at North Carolina, didn't do much, but I think he holds the record for most college football wins of all time, I believe, Mac Brown.
Dang, yeah, that was one of my favorite teams was that Vince Young. I think everybody wants to see the underdog win.
Oh, yeah.
But, same thing with that. And then after that, that's when the SEC took over, actually, from what I remember, because it was kind of like the I guess before that there was Miami and there's actually the ACC in the 90s to me was really good.
ACC was nasty because Florida State used to be really good too.
Yeah, Florida State,
Mike Norvell,
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech used to be pretty good. Miami was good.
Miami, of course.
Clemson we won one in the 80s.
Yeah, one in the 80s. So Clemson was always kind of back and forth.
Yeah, we weren't consistent really until Dabo.
That was definition almost of Clemson for a while was super inconsistent.
Yeah.
But it was actually painful being a Clemson fan.
It was brutal. Our Lord and Savior.
I wasn't as much of a fan actually until he started, but it wasn't because he was there. It's funny enough, it just randomly happened. But
it just happened when we started winning.
Yeah, because I started liking I just was like, you know what? One season I was like, I just want to get really into Clemson football, and it was the year Sammy Watkins was a freshman.
Oh yeah, Sammy was nasty.
So it was
a 3-star recruit, mind you.
Yeah,
he wasn't supposed to be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be anybody.
The deuce is loose. Think. But they had Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins. They had Nuke. I think he might have been a little later actually.
Yeah,
but that was a very good team, and that was because Auburn was the reigning national champions. Cam Newton went to the NFL, so they didn't have him. But I remember Clemson, like the 3rd or 4th game of the season, beat them, and I think Clemson was undefeated starting there, and that was kind of where I feel like Clemson's success really started.
I think it was Taj Boyd brought us to our first 10-win season in like forever, then we had this god awful run against the Gamecocks.
Dude, yeah, it was like 6 years in a row.
6 years in a row, we didn't win. Yeah, that was terrible. That was very frustrating. Steve Spurrier was coach of the Gamecocks at the time.
I definitely did. Whenever he was coaching them, I hated him. But now I kind of respect him.
He is objectively like a great coach.
Yeah, he's pretty cool because he won a Heisman Trophy, and he's like he's a great coach. He's like successful, I will say, yeah.
But his legacy is at Florida. Like he's down there now. I mean, he had a great run at Florida. He just happened to finish out in Carolina. But I mean, that's when they had Marcus Lattimore too, who was nasty.
I like Marcus Lattimore. They had Clowney.
Oh gosh, yes. Davian Clowney was an animal.
So they actually got some really Because actually, Clemson's very good at recruiting, but almost back then, sometimes Carolina was better at recruiting.
100%. Yeah. At that point in time, I feel bad for Marcus Lattimore, man, because this is before NIL. And the problem, this is something I don't know. I guess you play to win, but like I think Garcia was the quarterback and he was kind of mid. But you could just give Marcus Lattimore the ball every down and get it, just go down the field.
Spurrier did, man. I think he got him injured, basically.
He blew out his knee like 3 times, and then he never made the NFL because he just got tore up in college. I feel kind of bad for him, But I mean, I guess it is what it is, contact sport. But I think they could have maybe not leaned on him as heavy, and he wouldn't have gotten absolutely.
That was like the only good offensive option they had. Sorry, dude. He was like, they could have, maybe they weren't the best at recruiting that because they could have had like another option.
Yeah, I think it was Garcia was quarterback, and he was not great. He wasn't terrible, but he was never going to be NFL. But I feel like that's kind of where Carolina always has been. They've had like 2 or 3 just freaks, and they just rely on them. Like right now, you have Lenore Sellers, boy out of Florence. He's incredible. Like even as a Clemson,
you should transfer to Clemson.
Yeah,
I was going to say the Carolina fans like get irritated by him.
No, but he's incredible. But they rely on him so heavy. Like he is their offense. And then you got Nick Harbor, who is a wide receiver. It runs like at the speed of light, so he can just run it, straight, straight down the field every time.
Oh yeah,
and it's just he can outrun anybody. So you just have him run down the field, go in a straight line as fast as you can, and then Lenoris breaks 18 tackles in the backfield, and then maybe it works out. But like their O-line's not good. Their running back isn't incredible. I think they got a new guy this year, but they wasn't last year. I mean, they really don't have a defense, honestly, TBH. But I always feel like they have 1 or 2 just like absolute murderers, just insane best player in the nation, surrounded by a bunch of like okay players.
Who's their coach? I forget the guy's name again.
Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
Beamer, famous father. He was a really good coach at Virginia Tech. I forget his first name. Beamer was, but no, Shane Beamer.
Frank or something?
It might have been Frank, actually. Anyway, but Beamer is the definition, I think, of inconsistent a head coach, because you have a guy who was like arguably should have made the playoffs one year. They were like right there. And then the following year, they go like 4-8 or 5-7 or whatever they were. It's like, how do you do that?
Honestly, not even just talking trash to the Carolina fans. It's got to be painful right now to be a Carolina fan because there's not much that they can really hope for. And I feel like, if they get a win, I guess that's like I guess it helps you a lot. But
well, they got a lot of offseason hype, but they always do, because that's the thing is they're always like capable. I've never seen a better 4-6 team or 4-8 team or whatever than what Carolina was last year. They were like the best bad team there is.
Yeah, because they would lose a lot by like only, I think it was close games.
They were up like 28 points on Texas A&M and then just blew it.
They probably would have been the opposite if they actually like had a little. I'm not roasting the coach, but a little better coaching. Something. So what was the original conversation about? Was it the Big Ten versus the SEC
I feel
and the ACC?
That the SEC or the ACC, as long as it's one of the Southeast ACC teams, needs to put the Big Ten in their place, frankly, because I don't agree with this, Big Ten, runs the league now. It's the number 1 conference, I can't look. College football is, in my opinion, a Southeastern thing. I have to explain it to all of our clients that move here, and they're like, "Oh, you guys, what's
because we have nothing else to like."
We have no NFL team. We don't have an MLB team. Yeah. We don't have an NHL team. The Canes are in North Carolina. We need this.
Yeah, the Big Ten, they have the North up there. So they either have, I don't know, New England, they always win everything in sports, or...
Well, you got Detroit. That's in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the Lions up there. Ohio, does Ohio have an NFL team?
No, Ohio has like the Cavaliers. Actually, honestly, Ohio for sports besides the Buckeyes, I feel like they're kind of cursed.
Actually, yeah.
Because they kind of need those, because they have, besides LeBron James, that was like their savior. The Cavaliers are terrible. The Browns, they're not.
Forgot about the Browns. Yeah, they're trash.
I think they had Johnny Manziel at one point.
It didn't work out though.
But
they should have kept Baker.
Yeah. They had like the frat boy quarterbacks.
They do, yeah.
But so they don't. And then they had the Cleveland Indians. They don't. Or I don't know what to change their name, but they don't really.
I think they still are, right?
I think so. Yeah, but they don't really have notable things. Actually, Ohio's the Ohio State. Let me get it right.
Oh yeah, what's that about?
Yeah.
The Ohio State University. Okay. Who are you talking about? The Ohio Bobcats or the only other? Obviously, it's not the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah. But I think they have a cool mascot, actually, Ohio State. I will say that.
What's a Buckeye?
It's actually one of those teams that I like to hate. You know, I'm glad they're actually good because I want to hate on them. You know, because if they were just terrible, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
You don't want to trash like a terrible team.
Because Alabama, to me now, after Saban's gone, I don't feel they're going to be the same anymore. So.
No.
And I'm not saying the Big Ten is the new SEC, but because of that, it's kind of like it has shifted a little bit. I don't think the SEC is as the dominant powerhouse as it was. And it's funny because I'm saying Nick Saban held it together, but he kind of did.
He really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I think the SEC, like, you know, team to team, like, I think it's way deeper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think, like, you have
better players, too, like, over there. So everybody, like, a lot of people come from Florida, you know, they get recruited to the SEC because they're from the South. And then also those kind of in those other states, like there's nothing else to really do besides play football.
Yeah.
You know, so they're like, I'm going to go all in on this.
100%, man. It's just, I feel like the SEC has way more good teams, but in recent history, the Big Ten has happened, like their top 1 and 2 has been better than, because that's Nick Saban left, and then Kalen DeBoer, he ain't got it, man. He ain't.
I even know that was a coach.
I think Bama needs to go ahead and let him go. And I know that's controversial, but
Bama fans, what do you think?
It's crazy shoes to fill. Nick Saban's shoes are impossible to fill.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You could not, unless you got Cignetti. But he might could do it.
Yeah, he probably could. Yeah,
he's the man. But he's just, you can't. Kalen DeBoer is just like, he just doesn't have the right, like, you know, like, I don't think anybody's scared of Bama anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're like, okay, we're facing Bama. It's still going to be a tough game, but it's not like, oh crap, here comes Alabama. Like that's to me one of the sweetest things. I remember actually I saw it in person was when Clemson won in what year is that? 2016?
Which time?
When they won the last second of the game against Alabama.
That might have been 2016. It was Deshaun Watson.
Yep. I saw that game in person.
Really?
And it was honestly like a dream come true.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because I hated Alabama. Actually, more than I hated Carolina, because they would just ESPN kind of does this to me as well. The same thing with Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because they ESPN talks about a team so much. I already don't like them, but then it's just like it makes me dislike them more because everybody doubted Clemson. I remember this, and then like Clemson wouldn't get much like positive talk. Alabama, of course, Alabama will get all of this. It just felt so good to dethrone them.
Yes,
especially the way it won last second of the game.
And I believe it was the year prior. Yeah, I think we lost to Alabama.
Yeah.
And then it was like the rematch. It was like, you know, can they do it? Because for the longest time there, when Saban was in his prime, it was like, okay, well, who's going to play against Alabama in the national championship? Because they're going to be there.
Talking point.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, Deshaun was incredible. He didn't have a very good NFL career, unfortunately. Things happen. But, you know, and then we had Trevor. And that was, I don't know which I love more. The like, against all odds, nobody believed in us, last second win against Bama, or when Trevor came in there and just absolutely waxed them.
Yeah, that was very satisfying.
I mean, I don't think Saban has ever had a beating that bad, ever.
Yeah, he was probably pretty humbled. I would maybe... Dude, I would imagine being in that locker room with Saban after that loss.
You lose by 30 points in the 90, dude?
Dude, I'm not even going to the locker room. I'm going straight to the bus. I'm going somewhere where I'm going to Uber home. I'm not talking to him after that.
That might have been the only time a coach has made a team run laps after the last game of the season.
He probably popped a few blood vessels, man.
He might be part of why he had to retire. I mean, and, you know, you got to give Dabo credit. And this is what always ticked me off about when you'd hear like, oh, SEC, the SEC. Yeah. Name one other coach that has a better record against Saban than Dabo. I think he's 500. We lost to one in the national championship, one in the playoffs, and then we beat him twice in the national championship. A winning record at the biggest game, and, you know, even overall. I don't think anybody has that record against Saban.
No.
Granted, it was only 4 games, but like, I mean, he owned everybody.
And during that time, and I think Clemson still is kind of doing it. The Clemson, a lot of those big games, they actually did good. They won their big games.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what happens, I'm a Clemson fan, so I can say this. They would face like Wake Forest, and like
we would stub our toe.
I would honestly be more nervous sometimes playing like NC State, Wake Forest, than like Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like they didn't take it. I don't know if they didn't take it seriously or what it was, but it's always like a last second win.
I think
then we would like stomp Ohio State.
I think the year that we had that last second, you know, Deshaun Watson to Hunter Renfrow walk-off touchdown. I think that year we beat Bama. I believe we lost to Pittsburgh.
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I would not be shocked. Yeah. Pitt, I think, always gave us a tough time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, there's a lot of those smaller ACC teams.
That's like, ACC is just full of teams that are just stubborn for no reason.
They have Georgia Tech as well. Georgia Tech does the option.
Haynes King's solid.
I guess I could see what people are saying the Big Ten, because I forgot they have Oregon too. It's so weird to me. They have these teams from the West Coast. But yeah, Oregon is like one of the top teams right now.
I just can't take West Coast football seriously.
Yeah. Well, it's because they do pretty good, but they don't really win the championships right now that much. They get to the playoffs.
USC is permanently in the mid dimension, and obviously UCLA is trash. Who else on the West Coast? But like Washington Huskies are always Oregon. Just okay, and then Oregon, it's like they go undefeated or close to undefeated almost every year, and then they just can't do it. I don't know.
They have cool uniforms.
Yeah, they got neat uniforms.
Austin Stadium, I think that's what they're.
I don't know. I just don't think. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out though. I'm trying to see who's going to take us to the promised land. I love my Clemson Tigers to death. This is a rebuild year. I don't know how we're going to do this year. To tell you the truth,
sometimes those rebuild years, you never know. You get caught by surprise.
Well, I like Chad Morris being back, but I don't know, man. We got Chris Vezina at quarterback probably, who. I don't know. I like Chris Vezina because he was a 5-star recruit out of high school. And in the age where everybody's hitting the transfer portal, he sat on the bench 3 years in a row and didn't never leave, which is crazy because a 5-star recruit, any other.
So he's like a senior?
I think he's a redshirt junior.
Oh,
because he was redshirted. He's quarterback.
Oh, so he's going to be over Cade.
Cade's in the NFL now.
Dude, actually. No, I'm not saying it. I honestly feel like Cade was a quarterback for Clemson for like 6 years. I don't know why. I felt like he was there forever.
We had 4 years of him because we had as a true freshman, he finished the year for us, and then we had 3 full years.
I forget the guy before Cade, but
we all would like to. DJ Uyunglele.
Oh yeah.
DJU, patron saint of destroying the Clemson Empire. He didn't have that dog, dude.
I think then he.
You know why? He's from the West Coast.
You see, yeah,
that's why it didn't work out.
You gotta be from the South, man.
Yeah, Cade was from Texas.
See, yeah. Cade's a good. Cade, I like Cade.
He's a good boy,
especially as a person. Yes. Cade's like awesome. I feel like.
Yeah, him and Trevor.
One of my favorite Clemson players is actually Chandler Catanzaro. Remember him?
Yeah, I do remember. He was a kicker, right?
Yeah,
he was a nasty kicker too. He was like 63-yard field goal or something like that.
Catman.
The Catman.
That was his nickname. Yeah,
he was nasty. He played for the Raiders in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I think so. He was really a good kicker. Yeah, one of my favorites. Yeah,
yeah, he was real good. He bailed us out of a few because he could hit him. From
he got a good game winners. I think. Yeah,
Catanzaro was the man. That's what I don't know. One thing about this year is that we had such a rough year last year. Went 7-5, which for the standards Clemson's held to now, it's like an abysmal failure. But I think it's like, we were like ranked like number 4 in the nation going into last year, which is why 7-5 was so bad. But
I forgot, we were like super. I'm talking all this crap. We were super overhyped because even
much so.
It sounds weird, but even the video game kind of goes off what the media says. In the video game, like Clemson has a very high rating. It's like one of the highest. Mm-hmm. Even Cade, I think it was like one of the highest rated players.
90-something overall was crazy, but it's just like now everyone's kind of written us off. I feel like that's where the team really thrives. When you have like who is this?
There's less pressure.
Yeah, Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins. Nobody knew their names until they went out there and did it.
Yeah,
and who knows? CV might be the man. I've seen him actually play in a couple games in person up there in Death Valley. And honestly, I don't know if he's got it or not. But we'll see, man. I'm excited to see what he can do. Having that, being the guy going into the season, not just a backup. For me, stay above 500, beat the Gamecocks. We're cool.
Yes, yeah, same for me. I'm gonna try to hit 9 wins. I know that's
it's solid.
Yeah, I think that's good because you're going to get into of course. Would you go to a bowl game last year? I think we barely made it.
Yeah, we went. We lost Penn State, but everyone opts out of bowl games.
Oh yeah, that was like I remember that bowl game too. That was the overhyped teams in the beginning of the season bowl game.
Yeah, we both sucked.
Yeah,
but it was
because Penn State was also like a top 5, I think.
Fired their head coach. Who's now at Virginia Tech, which that's a very exciting storyline.
Yeah, I think that guy's actually. I think he's a pretty good head coach. Actually,
yeah, that was crazy to fire him.
Franklin, I forget.
James Franklin.
James Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just the whole narrative around James Franklin was that he can't win big games, but he was so consistent. Like they always won the games they were supposed to win.
I see.
And then the big games, they couldn't get it over the hill, but they never were upset. They were very, if they were favored, they were going to win.
Yeah.
But then what happened was he lost a few games he wasn't supposed to win. And they're like, all right, you're fired. So
yeah, I remember last year, there was a couple of losses. I think they were close too, but they lost or whatever. I forget. Yeah.
They started off at like 4-4 or something. I forget when they fired him, but it was very sudden. And I don't know. I think an unjustified firing, but Penn State's another one of them teams. It's in the Big Ten where everyone's like, oh, Penn State.
Yeah, I think they have the good home energy crowd. Okay, this is what I want to get your thoughts on.
Mo Bamba.
Also, people like last year were like getting upset at Dabo because Clemson's not doing near as good. I remember just seeing this on social media. People are like, we need to get a new head coach or all these things. And like they're almost forgetting like all the good things Dabo like literally did to help Clemson, I'm like, yeah, even in a job or whatever, you might not be 100% all the time. It's not all his fault anyways. But
this is going to sound like a crazy cope, but like Clemson has the number one graduation rate out of any D1 school, out of any like top 25 team. All right. You go most college.
Apply at Clemson.edu.
Clemson.edu, not a sponsor. But I feel like you go to school to get an education, and if you happen to in the NIL era as well make some money and that's great. But even guys who are like stars in college, a lot of the times like Marcus Lattimore, incredible, did not have any NFL. I think he was drafted, but like his knee was all tore up. Like a lot of these guys are not going to play NFL ball, and like these dudes with the transfer portal, you're going to 3 schools in 4 years. It's like you're not getting any sort of if this football thing doesn't work out, you can be the best player in the world, just get injured and you're done.
Yeah,
and so like I think the way that he runs a program there needs to be some respect for that because it is a college at the end of the day.
Dabo has character, and he definitely I feel it helps because people that are maybe don't have. I'm not saying anybody is this, but maybe someone has a troublesome past, or Dabo's kind of like a father figure, kind of helps them a little bit, like kind of guides.
He's like a genuinely good dude. I believe that.
Yeah.
But also, he does win as well, and that's the thing is like, yes, I think what people have to remember about how frustrated they were last year is like, why are you mad to begin with? You're only upset because he set the bar so high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're firing him
in a press conference.
Yeah. I mean, like you're firing him because he's so good. If you would have had the first year he took over, if you went 7-5, you were like, oh, hell yeah. Like sick. Great. We have a winning record. That's what he walked into. And then, go win a couple natties and, don't miss the playoffs for like 7 years in a row. I don't think we missed a playoff except for last year for like the entire time we've had playoffs in college football.
Yeah, we've been actually one of the most dominant teams in the college football playoff.
That's all Dabo. And so like, he had a down year. Give him a minute, Yeah,
I was kind of nervous. I was like, hope the fans don't like upset him and he like leaves. And I actually was nervous he was going to go to Alabama because
when that job came open, I did think low key.
I was thinking one of those two because he's getting maybe frustrated because I remember watching some of his press conferences and he just seemed very almost not like as much the usual Dabo, like very like under stress and pressure. And I was like, oh crap, he might leave. And I was like, I think people are going to regret it if he did.
Yeah, I think Bama fans would have revolted if he went there.
Yeah.
Because I think they're a little bit, we had a good little rivalry, can't ever say that word, going for a little minute there. So I don't think the Bama fans are particularly hip on. I don't think they'd like it. Penn State, I just can't see Dabo up north, man. You know what I mean? Like Dabo in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I honestly only see him. I mean, just Clemson and, to be honest, Alabama right now, even to maybe those fans, just because that's like his alma mater.
Yeah, he really would have done great. And I think the fans would have got over it once he started winning,
Yeah.
But there was, the LSU job was open. He could have taken that. They got Lane Kiffin down there now.
Lane. Yeah, that guy. Oh, yeah, because he like betrayed Ole Miss.
That was so you can't do it, Lane.
Because Ole Miss, actually, he did help that program a lot. They were started, because Ole Miss to me was like, the team was like one of the worst in the SEC for a while. And then
they were nothing.
He helped them. Honestly, I think they were the top 10.
Yeah, and he quit during the playoffs, which is crazy. Like that's insane. And he's just like, well, LSU gives me a better chance. Jeez, dude.
Yeah, that's not right.
That's not right. And then he's like, posting selfies with like, chicks in saunas. Like, I don't know, man. You don't know if you need to do all that, Lane. I get you're a single guy and you can do that, but like, that's kind of a crazy thing to do.
I mean, it's cool. You can do whatever you want, but also the girls are like in college, basically.
Well, yeah. Have you like seen the avalanche of like leaked DMs that he's hitting like LSU volleyball team? Like you have to
Livy Dunn or
somebody's got to stop Lane Kiffin, dude. He's out of line. Could you imagine the? I mean, granted, it's different, I guess, because he's married. Could you imagine the uproar if Dabo DMs? Hey there, sweetheart. It's Dabo. He seems like the guy who would sign his text. Like, you know, when this is a person who's in your contacts and you talk with, but he still signs the text, Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah.
He seems like he would.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, he's just, I don't know, man. I think, as far as I'm concerned, unless we just start tanking, he's got a job there as long as he wants, I think.
Yeah. I think if he does worse this year, then there's some trouble ahead. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's going to happen, knock on wood, but we'll see.
No, I don't think we'll do worse than 7-5. And for a long time, all that mattered was Carolina. You know, the age-old saying was, you know, as long as you beat Carolina, you know, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, maybe they beat us once recently, but it's been, besides that, they haven't really won that much, I think.
Yeah, he may have gotten fired if he lost Carolina last year. Genuinely. Like they might have done it. But fortunately, we did not lose to the worst Carolina team in the past decade. But I don't know. I think Shane Beamer probably is on the hot seat.
Yeah. He doesn't have a good year this year,
which is the same situation because the only reason they were so mad at the 4-8 season was because he was like about to be in the playoffs the year before. Granted, 4-8's never great, but like he was a game away from the playoffs the year prior. And he did that, you know, and it just seems so like everyone's so impatient, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it takes at least 5 years. I mean, I don't know, but I would think it takes 5 years to rebuild a football program.
How long do you think it would take you to could you rebuild Indiana? How long would it take for you to rebuild Indiana, Robert?
40 years. 40 years. I would think at least. My instincts immediately tell me 40 years to rebuild that.
Yeah. I think Cignetti really ruined it for guys because, you know, I think that was the narrative is like, you got to give a guy time for a rebuild. But then with the transfer portal, NIL, and then Cignetti does it overnight.
Well, you can just tell by Cignetti's personality that he's going to do good no matter where he goes because that's his nature. Like you can just tell if you look at a lot of the great coaches. Yeah, he's a winner. He kind of almost has the Nick Saban energy a little bit. I don't know how to describe it, but
he is the most Saban coded coach.
That's why actually, you know what? I think that's why a lot of people like sports. But that's the same reason why I like watching sports, even these things, because it kind of reminds me of my life. I'm not trying to get too deep here. That you know, sometimes maybe I'm the failing football program, but I can.
You're getting very deep right now.
Yeah, I can rebuild. You know, my dynasty. Maybe just need or whatever God helps me, or whatever it is. Yeah, you know, absolutely. God is my Cignetti or something. But like, but he can help like rebuild it, and it's almost like the greatness in these other things is almost like it sounds so weird and deep, but you're witnessing maybe something that you can do yourself. In different aspects of your own life.
Yeah, and that's what people who aren't like sports fans don't get. Is it's like it's. I know people always give me crap. They're like, you romanticize college ball way too much. But think of the metaphor, like, you know, the storyline of it all. And like, you know, Cignetti, he seems like a guy who, you know, he teaches you to do your job, you know, like he's not about like, it's not like it's less of a like hope and a can we and a if we, it's just like a, you know, clock in, do your job every day. Yeah, very regimented. And that's a very Saban-like approach is like, you did your job every down and you knew what your assignment was. And it wasn't like,
fundamentals or whatever it is.
Yeah. He would, you know, 2 hands on the ball. You know, that's a very, you know what I mean?
Rotate your hips or whatever.
We don't need to see none of these flashy one-handed backflipping Odell Beckhams. I mean, 2 hands on the ball, dagnabbit. It's just it seems.
I feel like you're quoting him right now, yeah.
I feel like I could. Yeah, we should get Nick Saban on the pod.
That would be an interesting one.
Nick Saban, come on.
Honestly, we probably could.
You can get Dabo.
Another cool thing too about football is we like in Somerville. Well, RIP is John McKissick. We had him.
Oh my gosh, RIP John McKissick, winningest coach of all time across any high school, college, NFL, winningest coach. I think he still has that record.
I think he still does too. Over 1,000 wins, I think, or something.
A lot.
Yeah.
It brought Somerville to a state championship, which doesn't happen too often. Respectfully.
I remember he because I went to high school when he was there for like a year or something. AJ Green.
Oh yeah, he was solid.
He was like that guy was like good at everything.
I think he went and played for the Bengals, right?
He played for the Bengals because he was like one of the top recruits for Georgia. And then I think he was drafted in the top 5 or 10. Yeah, and went to the Bengals. He did pretty good.
AJ Green was a killer. Somerville's own.
Yeah.
He was real good. Yeah, I actually when I was in high school played against McKissick.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Although not to besmirch my dog's legacy, but towards the end there, I don't know how much coaching he was really doing.
Yeah, he probably was chilling a little bit. 'Cause I wonder if the quarterback was Johnny McElvey when you guys played.
Who?
It was like his grandson, I think, or something.
It might have been. I think we did talk some smack about that. I'm trying to remember. It may have been. I don't know. I do just remember looking across the sideline and seeing McKissick there with the O2 tank. And I remember thinking, all right, like respect. And obviously like he's got a job as long as he wants it. He's an incredible legacy, but I feel like his assistant coaches maybe were doing a little bit of heavy lifting there.
Yeah.
They won. So good for them. But
Azure Ridge too. I think a lot of when that school got formed, probably a lot of that school was Somerville High School that made up Azure Ridge.
Yeah. At least in the first couple of classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or guys that were supposed to go to, or maybe we're halfway through the years and, high school.
I remember Somerville was very overpopulated because I went to Somerville for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was going to technically be the first graduating class, I think at Asher Ridge or something. But then I actually moved to Beaufort. Mm-hmm. But I was supposed to be like the first one for the Swamp Foxes. But no.
So didn't happen. Didn't come to fruition.
Did not happen. Yeah.
What could have been?
I went to a school called Battery Creek.
Battery Creek. Yeah. Where is Battery Creek? Should I know?
Exactly. Yeah. That's like I remember just 1 year.
That's not like around here, is it?
No, it's in Beaufort.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But,
it's on that, yeah.
The football team didn't win one game.
Oh no.
One season.
You gotta win one.
I think the coach was a guy from the history.
So the janitor?
Yeah. It was me. Yeah.
That is a funny thing. I didn't realize that other states weren't like this.
Oh, okay.
But in South Carolina, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure all the coaches have to be employed by the school in some capacity.
To teach PE,
yeah.
Or
but like in Texas, they'll have like a guy who just is the football coach.
Texas high school football and Florida high school football, probably the craziest.
Yeah, they go hard. But so it's just like the football coach is just like the sociology teacher,
Easy thing just to put on a movie, whatever. Yeah.
We had I played O-line in high school, and I hope he doesn't mind me name dropping him. I'm sure he doesn't watch anyway. But was Coach Wilson.
Okay.
And Coach Wilson.
Not Brian Wilson, though.
No, not Brian Wilson. He'd probably be a pretty solid ball coach.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson, come save our franchise. Coach Wilson, I don't know what his first name was. But I was in high school around the time like Breaking Bad was first coming out.
Okay.
And that matters because it's relevant to the story because Coach Wilson had a shaved head and he was also a chemistry teacher.
Oh, okay.
And so you immediately was Heisenberg. But that guy, this is just, I don't know, if you don't play the game, you don't get it. But like, you learn a lot in high school. It's your developmental years and whatnot. I learned more from Coach Wilson about just like, discipline and doing your job and being, especially as an O-line, like there's no glamour in that position.
That's probably one of the hardest positions to play.
Well, nobody cares is the thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no highlight reel of pass blocking. So, but also if you miss your guy, your star, the guy that everybody loves, the quarterback, Mr. Handsome, right?
It's most important. Yeah. There's one of the most important roles, honestly, but they're not going to win like a Heisman or
no.
You'll win like the offensive lineman award, maybe if you're really good, but like it's not like anything special.
Yeah, but you don't have like cool highlights. You never score a touchdown. You never touch the ball unless you're the center. You just hike the dang thing.
If you get an interception, dude, or no, you can't do that.
You can pick up a fumble, a couple big fumble recoveries.
Yeah, if you're defensive line to get an interception, that's
even
cool.
Just falling on the ball is a wonderful O lineman experience. Just falling a fumble, but. No, but if you do your job wrong, your running back's getting smacked in the background or backfield, or your quarterback gets sacked, and that's a huge issue. So like, it's a very you learn a lot about just like doing your job, and you don't live for the hype, and you don't need anybody singing your praise. You just show up and do your job, because that's what you got to do. At least that's Wilson really beat down India. Also, Coach Strick.
So he was the O-line coach.
He was the O-line coach, and then Coach Strick, who now does something at Somerville Greenway. Coach Strick was he was like, I guess, the assistant O-line, and he did some D-line stuff too. But
so like whenever before they hiked the ball, would the like offensive line and defensive line talk crap to each other? I always wondered how that went.
Yeah, the trenches are yes. There's a lot of unspeakable words.
Because you can never hear it. Like honestly, it's like even watching pros or whatever. But I know there's got to be some words exchanged.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the only position is if you're on either offensive or defensive line. It's the only position where no matter how the play goes, you are hitting every single down. And not only you're hitting the strongest guy on the other team.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest, strongest dude, and you're hitting him every single down. And so that's like, yeah, I mean, I don't
honestly,
know,
I feel like you have to have pretty good endurance to do that. It seems like.
You got to be real solid within about 3 feet. You know, if
you're doing a bunch though.
You're not running much. You're not, but yeah. Very physical. Think about like, you know, you like bench press and stuff. Think about, you know, trying to hit like a PR every single play. Because you're as hard as you can.
I feel I'd be very tired after a football game.
Well, sometimes they're just not even strong. They're just really fat. And then you got to like move a 400-pound kid. And you're just like, oh, God, you know.
Was there anybody that was just like a humble giant that would never speak, but he was just really good or something? I don't remember.
So there was one kid who played for Fort Dorchester, and this was my junior year, which that in high school, you grow a lot in a year. So the difference between a junior and senior in high school, especially on the line, where it's all about size.
50-pound difference or whatever.
So he was, not only was he a senior when I was a junior, but he was like, I think the only guy who had like a D1 offer. Like he was going D1. He was like, this was like good. And he was like good enough to like get reps the next year. Like he was a beast, and he was going D1. He went and played for some school, I forget. And he talked a few things, but you could just tell he was just like, I mean, he was just in a different league. You know what I mean? Like he was playing high school ball because he was, I don't know,
you got to do it.
But he was good enough to, I mean, he was a really, 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 really just light years ahead of that. And when you come across a guy when you're playing college or high school ball that just clearly is going to play Division I ball, that's like the upper 1%, you know, and it's just like, he's a, you know, you learn eventually, you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is not genetically, I'm not going to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm the biggest guy in a Planet Fitness, but, like, I'm not, you know.
Yeah, because honestly, O-line, I feel like, I mean, maybe there's some people like, you're probably a 5'10", 5'11", I would think.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere around. So my last official measurement was 5'11" and 3/4, of which I've lied about that last quarter inch most of my life.
So you're probably tall enough, I think, for some people. But I know that a lot of them are like 6'3".
Well, that's the thing is, I would have been big enough if I didn't play O-line.
Oh, okay.
But in elementary school, when I first started playing football, in 4th grade, I think, something like that. And I was always kind of like a fat kid.
Yeah.
And so you just get to put on the line. So then that's just like, what's my position? You know what I mean? But genetically, I should have been like maybe a linebacker or something like that. Because to be an offensive lineman at the next level, you got to be huge. Like,
I feel like you want to be big, but you don't want to be too tall because the quarterback has to see over you.
Those dudes are like 6'6", dude. They're crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're monsters. I'm telling you.
Because I think, honestly, if I like put on like 30 pounds of muscle, I'll probably be like a slot receiver.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know, because I think I'm 5'10" or whatever it is. So it'd be like almost like a Wes Welker type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or like almost like a Hunter Ringo.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah, Julian. Yeah, he was a beast, actually.
He was, yeah. Here's a guy who, pure willpower.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro also, just by no means should have been an NFL athlete. He's a beast. But yeah, at the line, you can't like, I mean, there is skill involved, there is technique involved, but at a certain point, there's a genetic barrier. Like you have, there's another guy, I'm not going to say his name, I guess it wouldn't be, but he was a few years older than me. Really just a solid, but he like was, I think like 5'8" maybe.
Oh yeah.
And,
so that stopped him for sure. Yeah.
He just was, and he played center.
Because honestly, I mean, that
so he just wasn't
all about size. That's the same thing with quarterback.
Never going to be a D1 center.
Nothing personal, but you can't be 5'6" being a quarterback. You can't see over anybody. Like there are some.
Shout out Bryce Young.
Like Russell, Bryce Young or Russell Wilson. They're kind of like our height.
That's what I'm saying. Think about all the like people talk about Kyler Murray being tiny. He's like 5'11".
Yeah, so he's honestly taller than most average guys.
It's just that quarterbacks are, they got to see over the line.
Like that's why, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they're like 6'4". Mm-hmm. That's honestly to me like a perfect height probably to be a quarterback, something like that.
Yeah, any 6'2" I think is about like the minimum for being a Division I, let alone D2, NFL quarterback.
There's a guy named Brock Osweiler. I remember he played for Arizona. This is when I was really into college football, but I think he was like 6'10".
Yeah, I mean,
he actually
was crazy.
He was
6'10's insane.
But yeah, I remember even in the video game, I was like, that's how I found out the guy. Cause I was like, why is this guy like, this guy's like a giant.
Create a player out there, dude.
Yeah, but he was pretty good. I think he went to the NFL. I mean, yeah, he went to the NFL, but then he was just like, mid in the NFL. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't play football, but what I observed, like from college, first of all, from high school to college is a big difference. Mm-hmm. And I guess I know why the odds are so tough. And then from college to the NFL, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's just
and have the longevity behind it and all that. Like, I'll be like me, like if I was an offense, like playing against, let's say the Ravens back in the day of Ray Lewis, I would be absolutely terrified, man. Like,
yeah, I don't think people realize how crazy even college athletes are. Like,
yeah.
There was that one guy. What was his name? He went to the NFL, of course, but this running back out of Bama, and mind you, this running back. He win a
Heisman?
I don't think he did actually.
Oh, okay.
But he was, he's not a lineman. He's not D-line. I mean, he's just, he's a running back. He's quite like 800 pounds, something like that.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, maybe? Was it him?
It was the other, Henry Ruggs, right? How much does he squat? Or then there was that guy at Penn State who was like crazy. I mean, you have strong legs, running back, but
that's
just
insane, man.
And that's not even like, the big dudes. I mean,
yeah, I would be a kicker, bro. That's
kicker solid.
It would be a chill position. Actually, now
you can play forever too.
Yeah, honestly, that one seems like the most. Like that's why I like Catman. It'd be cool just to be the kicker, like because back in the day, when I think you're younger and in high school, you're kind of like the kicker. Kind of seems like don't want to be like a quarterback or whatever.
Yeah, everyone wants a quarterback.
But then now, like as an adult, the kicker seems like one of the best positions.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you talk about like CT and stuff. If your kicker's getting rocked, like somebody missed their job. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I will say one thing about football that's funny is there's no weight classes. So when you just you better hope if you're a kicker, your line does their job because you got to.
Oh, yeah. If you're like 160.
Yeah, 280 pounds of lean, just.
I'm running, dude.
You just give him the ball, brother.
Who's the guy that the high kick to the guy and he holds the ball for the kicker to kick it?
I think he's just a holder. That's what they call him.
I wonder if that's like that all that he does, or does he do anything else?
I don't want to besmirch holders and say their job isn't important, but I believe at Clemson, Dabo's had his son be the holder for like 10 years running. He has like 4 sons.
Because if you're a professional holder, I wonder how much money you make.
I think it's usually a backup quarterback.
Okay.
And the reason they do that is because if you have a backup quarterback as holder, you always have like at least the threat of a trick play. Yeah. Because he can throw the ball.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So that way you can pick it up and run with it or throw it, So you always want that threat. And then if you have your starting quarterback, it's just too obvious that you're going to, run a fake. But I think usually it's the backup QB. But Dabo just puts his sons in there.
I see.
He has 4 sons and they've been the holder for like 10 years running.
I think one of his kids was a wide receiver, I think, or something like that. Long hair, I think, or something.
I don't think he was ever good enough to play at Clemson, but he may have been like a 3rd string wide receiver at one point. Dabo's not stupid enough to like put his kid in a QB. I think all of his sons
James or something.
Yeah, no, I think all of his sons played quarterback in high school, but like obviously, it's not. No, that would
Will Sweeney. That was him.
Will Sweeney, yeah,
Will Sweeney. He played at the.
He did get a touchdown last year. It's either Drew Sweeney, whichever Sweeney is the youngest, did get a touchdown last year on a fake field goal.
But they barely play. Yeah, it's only. I don't think it's like
it's crazy to give him the ball. I don't know. That was insane, but
hey, he did it once, man. That's honestly
he got the 2-point conversion.
If I scored one Division one touchdown for the Clemson Tigers,
oh my gosh, dude, that's like a Make-A-Wish, dude.
Dude, that would be cool for me. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I could sit on the bench the whole time. I would just chill with the team. You're in college, you have a fun time.
Be like Rudy, dude.
Yeah, what's the show? Blue Mountain State. You ever watch that? Or?
I've seen a few parts of it. Yeah, I've never seen it all the way through.
Yeah, Thad Castle.
Oh no, man! But it's hard. It's hard not to be romantic about college football, man. And I miss it. And I think once Clemson football is back, or just any, last month, July, it's the last month without college ball.
That's crazy. Actually,
I forget. It's some nobody team, but I'm going to be watching it. Let me just look it up real quick. When is the next college football game? It's sometime in August.
NFL starts soon too. That's crazy.
I don't care about preseason NFL. I don't know. Look, I will watch NFL.
Are you a Panthers fan?
No, I'm a Jags fan. But it's a very loose Jags fan. It's not like, I don't know. I don't really.
They had ETN as well.
They had ETN.
Oh, they did.
They traded him to the Saints, which is okay, I guess, because he is from Louisiana. I like the Trevor Etienne thing, but they got Trevor, and he's doing good. I like Trevor too. I think he's a good dude.
Trevor's awesome, yeah.
He's not like Mr. Ego, which is hard not to be when you're a.
He's like Sunshine from what's that movie? Remember the Titans?
Yeah. Here we go. UNC Carolina playing TCU August 29th, baby.
Okay, that'd be a good one.
It's like 30 days.
Belichick, is he still coach for them?
Yeah. What is up with that? What is going on?
Yeah, that's gonna. I think he destroyed his girl, right? I think
right.
I think honestly, he's almost proven that the team was like, it was like Tom Brady that helped the Patriots become successful. Because it looks like it, because now he went to college and he's doing terrible.
Yeah, I just feel like he's ruining his legacy. He could have rode off into the sunset, going down as one of the greats, and now he's just going, like 2-10 at UNC.
Yeah,
and I don't think we need to do that, Bill. And you've got Jennifer Hudson, who has like That's her name, right?
I have no clue. I just know some young chick.
She's got like a 25. Well, no, okay. It's like 27.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
Her brain is, her frontal lobe is
fully developed, and as evidenced by her investing all his money, she bought like 7 houses, and they're in her name, and I don't know how to think about that. But anyway, I hope she seatownsells.com. No, we don't work.
If you're looking to buy a house, with
Jennifer Hudson, if you'd like to buy in the Lowcountry,
we do have people with investment properties.
We do actually do that, and we'd be happy to run all your numbers on that because it's a little bit more numerical than your little residential properties. It's a little bit different thought process because it's not your home; it's for money. But yeah, August 29th, we got like 12 games on August 29th, buddy.
Dude, that's cool. That's like a month away.
Dude, I'm ready.
Actually, summer went by decently fast. I feel like
to make a cast August 30th, like, hey, it's the greatest thing ever. I don't even care. I just feel like all my stress is going to go away when I see that kickoff, man.
I just also just the cooler weather because usually at the end of August it does slightly cools down.
Well, down here it's still pretty warm, but it's it'll
be like 5 degrees cooler, I think, maybe by then.
And then we got September 3rd. No, I'll take anything, bro. Look at this, Sacramento State, Eastern Michigan. I'm there.
So how do you watch all these games?
On the television.
Do you have like ESPN Plus or something like
YouTube TV, not a sponsor.
Okay.
Best thing YouTube TV ever did was multicast. That's incredible.
We love YouTube TV.
We love YouTube TV, not sponsor. September 5th, big day. Clemson plays LSU, Tiger v. Tiger.
That's opening.
It is truly, you remember that old Catholic versus convicts thing? You remember that?
No.
You don't remember? It was back when, you remember the U? They called it the U. It was when like Miami had their whole like bad boy thing going on.
Yeah, the 90s.
And then Notre Dame played them. And then a Notre Dame fan made these T-shirts. And it was a big deal because Miami didn't like being called convicts, but it made headlines. And then that was the Catholic. Anyway. But to me, this feels like Lane Kiffin, evil Tigers in Louisiana. And then you have good, beautiful Christian Dabo. Underdogs, but he does it the right way. We're gonna get smacked.
Dude, if we win that game though,
we're gonna get
honestly
crushed.
That would it's such a high when you win a game like that. If that happens,
dude. Winning in Baton Rouge at a night game, which is very difficult to do because they're.
I don't know when we last played LSU, but
last year
it was. Okay.
We lost in our home field. Also, like we're the Tigers and the Tigers. Yeah. We both call our stadiums Death Valley. Good versus evil. I hope we smack Lane Kiffin, dude. I hate that guy. I shouldn't say that, but like he just, he's.
I don't know. Something's up with him, I think.
Well, also just like he went to LSU, abandoned his team in the playoffs, and then like brought in 40 transfers, which to me is just like the worst way to, you know what I mean? Just spend $1 billion, bring in 40 transfers. You're like, oh, we're going to be the best now. I don't like the ways.
If I was a college football player, I'll just say this. I wouldn't want him as my coach. I'd be like, oh.
No, he's not a man you can look up to. Just talking smack about this.
We'll get Dabo on the podcast.
We need to get Dabo on the podcast.
Chad Kelly, whatever. Is that his name?
Chad Morris?
Chad Morris. That's his name.
Yeah, he's our offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we'd get him on the podcast.
Probably could. Should get Brett Venables. How about Brett?
Is he still a defensive coordinator?
Nah, he's the head coach of Oklahoma now.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe he'll get fired, though, and then we'll bring him on. He had a good year last year. That was a make or break year for him. He was about to get fired. We can get Shane Beamer after he gets fired.
We should get Marcus Lattimore, man.
He's doing poetry.
That'd be cool.
I follow him on social media. He does like haikus.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can still be a man.
You can still be
and do poetry and be soft. It's okay.
You can do that, Marcus.
We won't judge you.
No, it's okay, Marcus.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, I don't think Mark's concerned about our opinion. Truth be told,
Marcus is not. Yeah, but just the average viewer on this that's watching it, Marcus is not even watching this.
I don't think so.
But maybe he is.
He might be our biggest fan. Probably not. But look, yeah, that's fine. I think we'll have to do in the office. Now's not the right time for an interview. We can get Tosh Boyd down here.
Tosh
Michael. He's the quarterback's coach now.
Oh, he is. Tosh would be real chill. I felt like to get on the podcast.
Yeah, he was a good dude. We get Tosh. We could who else could we maybe convince to come on here? Give him Catman, dude.
Cat
Get the cat daddy, dude.
Yeah.
Let's anybody in the comments. Let us know if you have the Catman's phone number. Give us a call if you know Catman. Anyway, that's about all I want to say today. That's about what I got. You want to add anything, Mr. Robert?
No, I think it's good talk.
Covered all bases. All right. Well, God bless you, our loyal viewers. We love you. You're wonderful. We'll have some guests here soon. You don't have to worry. We'll get someone fresh on soon. Don't worry. But I appreciate your viewership. We love you. God bless you. And all those things. Go out to Somerville's festival and the Zootopia night. Do those things. Support your community. Anyway, love you. Goodbye.